Hello and welcome to another edition of Goa 365 Story Behind the Story. Now the 23rd of June is World Widows Day as we call it, and on this show we have taken up few issues about what are the the practices that are faced, discriminatory and many times very like how widows are humiliated after the death of their husbands. So today, to discuss this issue, given the fact that 23rd is a day of some importance, at least it acknowledges that people exist and they are part of society. They are there should not be differentiation. They are part of the same society like anybody else. So we've had discussions earlier after the death of the husband, the way the widow was treated earlier, and now our assembly also has taken up that it will push and pull and ensure that their rights are taken care of in earlier episodes. But in this episode we want to bring it up what exactly is the situation on the ground on this issue. So to introduce you in short is Swarna Ma'am Gaonkar. She's a filmmaker and activist. Swarna Ma'am, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Dr. Richa Borkar, counselor, who's been very much, she's an activist, she's been involved in a lot of this. Dr. Richa, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
An advocate, Siolava, she wears many hats. So hopefully she will be able to give us an idea about the legal aspects of this, the humanitarian aspects of this. Siola, welcome to our show.
Thank
She's
you.
coming here after some time, I think since last she was wearing a different hat. So anyway, to introduce to this Swarna ma'am, explain कर आमकां कितें exactly ground situation कितें आहा, कित्याक तुमी involved आसा हे सगळे हितून आनी कितें actually people who first of all तो shock येता, then later on discrimination goes on, whether it is subtle, not so subtle, direct, indirect. Swarna ma'am.
हय, आजकाल आमच्या समाजान न्ही हेंच चड चालू आसा. लायक आतां एका बायलेचो घोव मेलो, ओके, सो त्या बायलेक एका तुच्छ नजरेन पळयतात, एटलिस्ट हिंदू लोक तरी. आय हॅव सीन बिकॉज आय एम अ हिंदू, सो आय नो अबाउट इट. सो अशें की तिका खंयच्याच रिच्युअलान म्हणजे तिका खंयच पार्टिसिपेट जावपाक तिका रायट नासता हितूनच. आनी बिफोर दॅट ऑन द स्पॉट हांगा तिचो घोव मरता आनी हांगा आमी तिका अशें रिती भाती, अश्यो रिती करूंक जाय, तश्यो रिती करूंक जाय करून थंय तिका चेपतात लोक, प्रेशर हाडटा तिचेर. आनी ती बाबडी लायक स्वताक सावरतली काय ते रिती भाती करतली तुमच्यो तेच तिका कळना, बट स्टील शी डू. तिका खबर सुद्दां नासता ती खंयच्या राज्यान आसा. सो म्हाजें अशें म्हणणें आसा की वाय वीथ हर. आनी ह्यो रिती भाती करच्या पेक्षा तुमी तिका समजून घेयात न्ही, तिचें दुख्ख आसा तें वांटून घेयात, शेअर हर पेन, तिका सपोर्ट करात, हें करात तिका. ना आमच्या समाजाचे लोक कशे तुका ना तुवें हें करूंकूच जाय, तशें करूंकूच जाय, हें अशें करूंक जायना, तशें करूंक जायना. ती कपळाची तिकली तिची पुसून काडटा इन फ्रंट ऑफ एवरी वन, सगळे लोक आसता ते उपस्थित. ते गळ्याचो मंगळसूत्र तिचो काडटा, ओडून काडटा, तोडून काडटा. लायक ती रडटा की नाका, अशें करूं नाका आपल्या बरोबर. कोणूच आयकना, बिकॉज कित्याक रितीच्या नांवार ना, ही आमची रीत, अशें करपाकूच जाय. ओके, देन तिका एक थंड उदकाचें स्नान घालता, दॅट इज नॉट नेसेसरी ना. तशेंय तिका थंय तिजी म्हणजे मनस्थिती सामकी तिची बाबडीची वाट लावन उडयता तिका सारकें. आनी सो म्हाका तशें दिसता की हें सगळें स्टॉप करचें. आनी हेच्या खातीर आमी एक मुवी सुद्दां काडलेली आसा, एक सवाशीण मुवी. हय,
मूवी ऑन व्हॉट, ऑन द प्रॅक्टिसीस आशिल्ली ती,
ऑन प्रॅक्टिसीस ओनली, की हें सगळें चालू आसा जें हांवें तुमकां आतां सांगलें न्ही सगळें, हें सगळें बंद करचें. द वे दे ब्रेक देअर बँगल्स तिका ते हर्ट जाता, ते तांकां समजना. ते कितलेच कडेन मागीर पळोवन वयता आमी की कितले कडेन तरी तिका ते घावे पडलेले आसता. त्या टायमार कळना, पूण मागीर कळटा आमकां. हें सगळें स्टॉप जावपाक जाय, इतलेंच.
डॉक्टर रिचा, तुम्ही काउन्सिलिंग करता फॉर मेनी ऑफ दीज विडोज एंड ऑल. व्हॉट यू फील, व्हॉट इज देअर मेंटल स्टेट तेन्ना समज येता? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल शॉक, यू लॉस्ट हजबंड, मागीर हे सगळे रिच्युअल जाता, बट तेचे मागीर तेच्या नंतर स्टील इट डजंट स्टॉप, ते कंटिन्युअसच असता.
एक्झॅक्टली. सो बेसिकली इफ वी कन्सिडर ते आमी एक फेजीसांनी पळोवंक शकता. जशें मॅमान सांगलें की फर्स्ट फेज ऑन द स्पॉट, जेन्ना एक इन्सिडंट घडलो त्या टायमार हे रिच्युअल्स चालू आसता. सो एट दॅट मुमेंट न्ही त्या पेशंट किंवा त्या पर्सनाक की खबर आसना की वॉट एक्झॅक्टली हॅज हॅपन्ड, बिकॉज इट इज अ शॉक. आणि दे हॅव नॉट प्रोसेस्ड इट, अजुनूय प्रोसेसूच जावना तो. but still to their pain people are adding more pain and they are not been even able to express at times. रडटा जाल्यार तुमी ताका रडनाका म्हणटात. This is a very wrong thing. And in this important message we should tell everybody ki rud-up is not a bad thing. If somebody is crying, she should express because the emotions out वचपाक जाय. That is the first thing. मागीर we see eventually when funeral असता, मागीर 12 days असता, मागीर 1 year period असता. So certain rituals असता की बाबा हे करप ना, ते करप ना, मागीर पुजा घेवन पुजा करतात, मागीर करपा शकता अशें आसता. लेटर ऑन सुद्दां पयलें जाल्यार मागीर लायफ टायम जशें तेंच्यांनी सांगलें की अशें मातशें आवट दवरतात. सो बेजिकली तांकां फिलींग जें आसा पळय की आय एम कमी काय आपणें कितें चूक केल्या, म्हाका अशें कित्याक फील जाता आनी मोस्टली ती ते एक्सप्रेस करपाक शकना कोण तेंचें आयकतलो. आनी नेक्स्ट म्हणल्यार जेन्ना कोण एक्सप्रेस करपाक शकना ते तेंच्या मनान उरता आनी इट लिड्स टू लॉट ऑफ सप्रेशन वीच इज नॉट अगेन अ गुड थिंग. प्लस सपोज जर तुका एकदां सुद्दां आमकां कोणें अशें म्हणलें की बाबा तुवें हांगा येवं नाका जाल्यार इट रियली हर्ट्स. आनी ती न्ही तो पॉयंट आसा पळय इट इज लायक इट्स लायक अ इमोशनल ट्रॉमा. लायक फिजिकल ट्रॉमा सपोज जर आमकां कट पडलो जाल्यार तो दिसता बट इमोशनल ट्रॉमा वी कॅनॉट सी. सो दॅट इमोशनल ट्रॉमा रिमेन्स विदीन देम फॉर अ व्हेरी व्हेरी लॉंग टायम.
And outlet मेवना तेन्ना it gets worse, no? ते भितर उरता.
भितर उरता. That's what I'm saying. And eventually कशें आसा पळय our mind body is connected. So जेन्ना emotional तुका expression जायना then it comes out in a disease form in the person. Okay. So it leads to many complications later. But
you all have seen a lot of these instances in society?
Not from a social perspective I would say, but from a patient to doctor perspective, because being a homeopath, so we deal with lot of mind symptoms of the patients, how patient has gone through. It is very important ki patientaची mental state कशी आसा that we always look into. So yes, many times we have seen because patients describe करता की बाबा for so many years I have faced this problem आणि मग तेका लागून त्यांचा confidence खूप कमी जाता. That is another thing.
Advocate, now this is a issue, this social issue, but from the legal point of view, government helps. From the humanitarian point of view, also help is there from the authorities, government side only. Asa kide, making help.
Yeah, when it comes to rituals, there is non-interference of law and rituals. Actually, I remember in our first year law, we had studied that customs and usages are a source of law. From where we get our laws are from adliyanche whatever time it starts jate and whatever is continuing, that is what is now in our law. But if you see, the law is the final word on what is allowed and what is not allowed. So there are some things which have entered the law, which is your succession, how succession will take place, how property will be distributed. Let us say for this in this side I'll say that. So that is decided by law how it will happen. But whether or not these rituals should take place is not there in the law. The law is silent on that. So if you do the rituals, it is not illegal. If you don't do the rituals, it is not illegal. So when that happens, it is impossible to decide whether the societal rituals or the religious rituals which are present and which are taking place are in fact unlawful, illegal, or whether fundamental rights would take precedence. Now fundamental rights are what rights each and every one of us has. They are inalienable and they are there because we are citizens of India. As Indians, we have these fundamental rights and they are there internationally also. So we have a fundamental right to life, which includes right to live in dignity. So it is not just that you breathe in oxygen and you eat food, but you have to live like a human being. Recently I had been reading some newspaper articles and even some videos and all, they come out where women who are alone, that is either because they are widows or because otherwise their family is not around close to them, they become isolated, and I have seen that they have been locked up in a room and they have spent years and years isolated in a room, and then they are given food just from the door. This is ill treatment. It is like treating the person as an animal. Now whether that's a widow or otherwise, but these instances I think you all also must have come across. In Goa we have seen I think at least 3 incidents I had heard about.
So that's because of widow, that's because of mental illness or
That is
whatever.
we don't know which comes first, the chicken or the egg, because if you do isolate somebody, she is going to become prey to, doctor will tell us.
Details, yeah.
So these things happen once the person is already widowed, means she is already a little on the weaker side, she is vulnerable
Yes.
part of the society, and so it happens. But on the fundamental rights side, there are remedies, but those remedies become often very expensive, and also you would have to first and foremost know about those remedies in order to get there. Then we find that a lot of people might go to NGOs, but then it gets convoluted also over there. But most importantly, as they said, the emotional state is such that how does this individual how is she able to open the doors of her house and go and meet a lawyer? This, I think, becomes the difficult part. But otherwise, the law will protect them because there are fundamental rights.
Okay.
But how will the High Court reach your doorstep? That becomes the problem.
Also, from like Ata now, as a person, as a victim, I would call it as a victim. Now you need to go out. So it is not. I don't think it's possible for 90% of people to go and meet a lawyer.
Yeah.
So village, this awareness. From the legal side, like you all have a lot of these legal
aid cells, etc.
Yeah, but these type of issues come up in that thing, as you are aware.
We in our school, in our college, we had a legal aid program.
Okay.
And even the state legal aid program is there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's there. We do take up many things. Recently, I think our state had taken up senior citizens' rights.
Yes.
Widow rights, I'm not aware, but perhaps it can be taken up now, because I'm very thankful that this channel is a catalyst for what is happening in Goa right now, because of this channel, at least widows are being recognized as persons requiring help. That is happening because of Goa 365. So
I think it's more because of people
because of
on
yes,
the field, yeah.
people on the
including
field.
you. Yes.
So then, so of course, state legal aid services can step in. Colleges also, they do their part. I have seen it. I've seen it as a student also, but they may not have the same kind of reach as state legal aid services.
Also, in many of these like women's issues, the domestic violence, like, there are these halfway houses are there. Margaon is there. I think North it was supposed to be there, but it's supposed to be there in GMC, IPHP. But widows are not part of that thing. I have not heard at least.
About what you are saying.
There are these these halfway houses are there for people who face abuse and all that, and that's
to
when
be rehabilitated.
No, nothing yet. Nothing is there for those
It's
those
only
ladies.
for domestic violence and
Domestic violence, not for widows.
That
No
way
law
a
is
widow,
there.
A
Yeah.
widow could also make a domestic
Exactly.
violence
It should.
complaint
Yes.
against her in-laws.
But that's
She
if it is
could.
physical.
But then
Mental
how it
part-
is possible, sir? Like
Difficult
It is
to-
difficult to do such a
Yeah,
thing. But I'm
that's
saying
what.
that the law that's what I'm saying. The law is available.
There.
How do you reach there?
utilize it.
That is little tough. Now, madam, you as a filmmaker and activist, now you produced this film with Suhashin also. Suhashin also. So, you should be able to tell us something that if it is actually possible, if it is practical, practical asa that like I like to use this पर्दे के पीछे, even our show is story behind the story. अशें ते भायर येवंक शकता आनी तुमी कितें करूंक शकता for it to reach out, because I am sure now you are saying Hindus, I am saying across religion
Across religion.
people are same. मातशे सरनेम आमचे चेंज जाला गोंयचे आनी वॉट एवर बाकीचे सगळे लोक ते लोक दोन हात आसा पांय आसा कान everything people are same, whatever politicians may say, people are still same, but is it possible for
हे
them
तेन्नाच
to go
पॉसिबल
out?
जातले सर जेन्ना हो गव्हर्मेंट हो रूल हाडटलो.
What rule you want?
लाईक दे शूड कीप सम पनिशमेंट,
a
फायन.
deterrent.
हां, म्हणजे आता एक कोणाचें तरी मरण जाला, कोणाचें तरी घोवाचें मरण जालां, ते बायलेक बरोबर ते कितें कितें घडटा कोणी नोट केलें, दे शूड कंप्लेन. आतां सादे आमी ट्रॅफिक रुल्स हे करपाक कॅमेरा लायता, कितें लायता फॉर फायन.
You can't put camera in
No, आय एम नॉट सेयिंग अबाउट कॅमेराज. आय एम नॉट सेयिंग की कॅमेरा घालपाक जाय. नो नॉट लायक दॅट. बट देन एक कोण तरी चार मदलो एक मनीस कोण तरी वचून कंप्लेन करूंक शकता न्ही, बाबा तिच्या बरोबर तशें घडटा, प्लीज सेव हर. एक कंप्लेन, एक कॉल, अशें करून जर गव्हर्मेंटान जर मातशें चिंतलें की जावंक शकता सर, कित्याक ना, जावंक शकता.
What would be required is
Yeah.
for this bill which is being proposed.
to give it that punishment.
Those punishment would be there. A good definition of all these rituals. So a compilation also is required. I'm aware that there is one city or citizen group, I think, is there. WE.
WE.
Yes. they are in the process of data collection at every village level, because different villages again are slightly differing in terms of their rituals, I suppose. What we see in urban side is
same.
Yeah, basically,
Not
but I
same.
think there might be some.
Probably some.
So they want to see what is happening and how it is happening. With that data collection, you have to bring it to the bill, because you have to define what is the ritual that you have a problem with. You have to define what is the treatment meted out to these widows and what is prohibited, because we cannot just say discriminatory rituals have to be prohibited. We have to say what are those
Details.
rituals. Yes.
No, but I think that data has been given to the thing.
Already
It's
given,
been
already given,
That
already
I'm aware.
signed also.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
signed by
aware
40
that it's already
MLAs.
gone. Yeah, and
But
but the
then,
thing is
yeah,
that
decision is
monsoon.
not
If you like, last time it came,
Yeah, it's supposed
it
to come
was-
the monsoon
yeah,
session.
monsoon session is like I think 1 month away. So should not be in a hurry. And as far as I'm aware, I don't think the stakeholders have been called for meeting. That's participation. ते जाऊंकच ना
जाऊंकच
थोडं, जाऊंकच ना.
ना,
So,
जाऊंकच
but माका माचे okay, law will
No,
come.
but that's the thing. The representation has gone,
Yes.
but the details have not gone
Details have also gone, but it has to. We have to see that it goes in the law, no?
in the bill.
Yeah, they have. I'm sure. I know that a lot of this, whatever is needed and all is gone. But they whether they koshe galta te and who is the, like say for example, many of these things, BDO becomes the thing. Now BDO he knows nothing absolutely. He cannot hold proper gram savas. What is he going to do in this thing about domestic violence? Also BDO. What does the BDO know? You have to have specialists, right? And you have to have people awareness in
No,
various
domestic
villages.
violence, you can directly go to court also.
But that is doesn't happen.
You need not go through a
You
BDO.
have to. It has to. It normally goes through local, and then NGOs come and whatever. Anyway, ते आणि discussion झाले. So ना madam, हे आता तुम्ही instead of just law is one side, but awareness village levelaचे on some, because ही law किती गेला initially. Even how it came to our notice is because of the panchayats. Panchayats and resolution घेतलेले. So then the sarpanches met us. Then that Sangeeta ma'am, she spoke to us. That's how we became aware. But even we were not aware. I was not even aware that it was such an issue unless up till it was brought to my notice. So awareness in the villages, these ladies and people, they should be aware, no, that are this is wrong. Ekide parampare, like across this it comes. Bapain kella, bapache, it goes through. So it becomes normal when it is not normal. This nobody should be humiliated.
Yes.
Exactly, I would want to add here.
Yes.
So
I'll come back to it
the
later.
thing is, we have been having one belief system. की इतल्या वर्साच्यान की अशें जाल्यार अशेंच करूंक जाय, तशें जाल्यार तशेंच करूंक जाय. अँड बिकॉज ऑफ दीस आतां आमी पळयत येयल्या, ओके आमच्या मम्मी पप्पान कितें केलां, तेंच्यांनी पयलां तेंच्या आवय बापायन कितें केलां. सो ल्हानपणाच्यान जेन्ना आमी एक गोश्ट पळयत येता ते आमच्या मायंडान कंडिशन जाता अँड वी लर्न सर्टन थिंग्स फ्रॉम आवर पेरंट्स ऑर फ्रॉम आवर नेबर्स ऑर हूएवर. सो मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट आय फील इज unlearning these things.
It's very tough, but before you unlearn, you need to make awareness.
Awareness.
So unlearning जाल्यारूच कितें तरी चेंज येतलो. So for that we need to create awareness among the youth, the youngsters, the school children, because तेन्ना तेंचे माइंडान मोल्ड करू शकता. Once you are adult and then you become very adamant and then you don't
Tough.
change
The
easily.
neural pathways are set, and
Yeah.
it's difficult to change. Yes.
So when you are small, young age, we can do a lot of changes in their mind.
Absolutely. First of all, India
But then
being
that
such a
our old people should understand the concept
no, old
first.
people will never understand.
They will never understand. Who will explain to them? Teachers, how they can
Nah,
explain
no,
about the rituals
no,
of
but
the
see,
families.
Today, Ata, even about garbage collection, ecology and all. How kids tell us, "Arey, don't throw this here, don't do this." Kids will tell you, "Don't do
Yes,
this,
yes.
don't drive." So,
Exactly.
if it is brought in school, she's absolutely, doctor is absolutely right. In schools, they should start talking about all these things.
No, basically what I'm saying is just respecting that person. Same, there is nothing changed. Just because husband is not there doesn't mean
Yeah.
she is less than anyone.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why are you differentiating? This is my point.
Differentiating.
Treat
Yeah.
equally.
But my point is, most people don't even think of it that way.
Yeah.
They think it's a normal. Like, I don't know, all of
That's
us
what
have
I'm
gone
saying,
for
because their belief
funerals.
system tasha asa nahi itli वर्षाच्या.
I don't know. Now we go, like all of us have gone for funerals, especially I mean like Maharashtra, Goa. You go for a funeral, then the body is brought out, then they bring the thing. Like 1-2 people do. Buckets सगळे पळयता.
पळयता.
Even see, you don't go to think that Are Baba, what is this going on? Like my friend expired. and his wife, now see my age, and she's obviously younger. Then all this happened, like, till it was brought to my notice, I never went to think, right? I thought like, okay, fuck that. You don't go to think from that other person.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is now
But
me, I don't know, I would like to think at least that I am like literate, if not educated. If I don't go to think that, how are the people who are in the village level, that awareness has to be created. आणि तुम्ही पहिले असतले 2-3 जण आसा थिंगा, हा ओके हे करू देते बाकीचे सगळे पळटा ओके झाले गेले. So that awareness also is very important. Law is there, implementation is there. Awareness ना झाल्या बाकी ते go to doctor
Yes.
for counseling. Madam.
म्हणून सर आम्ही ती मूवी एक काढलेली. इट इज
Yes.
10 years old मूवी नाव
We should put
सवाशे.
up, make some more new movies.
Yeah, we are into this thing.
We will
Yeah.
back it in that, don't worry.
we are doing that. But then ती मूवी आम्ही त्याच खातीर काडलेली आणि म्हाका दिसता हांवें ती ऑलमोस्ट चडशा पंचायतींनी स्क्रिनींगूय केल्या. आय टोल्ड देम टू कॉल युअर पीपल अँड जस्ट शो देम. पण
Very
व्हडलो कसो इफेक्ट कसो जालो
No,
ना.
see.
बट सी आणि जाणटी बी कशी हे आणि कितें
हें आनी
हय.
कितें आनी
हय हे आनी
कितें
कोण
आनी
हेका कितें खबर आसा ते वयता ती अशी. बट स्टील आय डीड दॅट. हांवें दाखयली स्क्रिनींग केली मागीर मॉलांनी केली स्क्रिनींग आणि चालूच आसा. आतां सुद्दां सवाशीन आमचे कोण आमचे संगीता सुद्दां हांगा हाडिल्ली आशिल्ली ती फॉर लास्ट पॅनल डिस्कशन प्रशांती
We
आणि
had
या
shown the-
शॉर्ट्स
shown-
दाखयले तुमी
shown.
थोडे ते. सो तशें चलता चालू आसा अवेरनेस चालू आसा. बट देन पीपल आर लायक
No, I agree with doctor on this. See, it is
From
difficult.
school,
Yeah, it is
from school
difficult to
also.
change the ideas of people whose neural pathways are already set. It's difficult. So from young, see, Goa, forget Goa. India is a very patriarchal society. The men. So here the domination of men also comes in. Today the clashes have become even more. Why? Because women have started earning. The clash जाता. So who's the boss? I'm the boss. You're the boss. ती माहिती आहे.
Right.
Whatever. ते जातात सोडून दे. That's another
That's another
discussion.
story.
So that should change, but that can only change at when you say that okay, boy and girl. Boy, I'm not talking about man and woman. Boy and girl are equal right from school level. I don't know.
See, we are saying maybe that the people are not ready for the law.
Not
but
ready, I didn't say.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about
They're not
it.
thinking about the law. But the very fact that some gram panchayats have taken resolutions means a general body of a gram panchayat is ready. So it almost looks like in most situations you will find the law tugging the people, come, let's go forward. But here the people are pushing and saying, let's get this law done. It appears so.
It is,
Also,
it is.
yes, and also there was a time when this is not maybe the position for Goa, but there was a time in other parts of India where women could not inherit property like men could because they were not Kopasanas under Hindu succession.
yes.
They were not Kopasanas. Then came 2005, there was an amendment and the Hindu Succession Act was amended, and now you had these rights. So we find that certain section of our people are conscientious and are ready and willing. So if imagine you can part with property to say now women can have equal, you can certainly get rid of some rituals. I think this is the easier one than that.
Ritual is very tough to get rid of. Madam, you tell us about it, whether you agree with her or
no, rituals are very difficult.
Very.
Very difficult. सो हांव तुमकां एक इन्सिडंट सांगता सर. लायक आमी ही मुवी काडली न्ही सवाशिनी आमची मुवी जाली. सो सून आफ्टर दॅट बिफोर रिलीजिंग द मुवी सो अशें जालें की मुवी आमची जाली आनी आमी रिलीज करूंक नाशिल्ली ती. जस्ट आफ्टर 2 months ऑफ इट लायक म्हाका एकदम क्लोज रिलेटीव ऑफ मायन लॉस्ट हर हजबंड आनी शी वॉज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ आवर मुवी सवाशीण. आनी हांव गेलें थंय आनी पळयलें की त्याच्या बरोबर तेच आतां सगळे इन्सिडंट जे हांवें म्हाज्या मुवीन दाखयला की हें घडूंक जायना. आनी आय वॉज लायक स्पीचलेस आनी हेल्पलेस, कांयच करूंक शकना. तरी हिम्मत केली आनी आय टोल्ड हर लायक फादर इन लॉ आशिल्लो तेजो ताका सांगलें बंद करा न्ही, हें कितें करता, तिची कांकणां फोडटा, तिची कपलाचे पुसता, तें कितें तें मंगळसूत्र तेजें तुटतलें, तिका पळयात न्ही. ही वॉज लायक एंग्री ऑन मी. तूं कोण,
first they will ask
तूं
them.
कोण, तुका कितें खबर आसा, स्टे आउट ऑफ इट. सो असो करून ओगी करतात. सो म्हाका ते मागीर तो एक खंत जालो कितें हांवें कितें फायदो जालो म्हाजो हे मुवी काडून इतलें हें करून की कांयच हांव ताका हेल्पूच करूंक शकलें ना न्ही. सो इंडिविज्युअली इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल
No,
एट ऑल,
individually is not
नॉट पॉसिबल.
But that's why the
Still then after few days that I met that lady again who had lost her husband. She was like, अगो हांव तुज्या हेजो मुवीचे पार्ट आशिल्लें, मग तुवें कितें केलें म्हाज्या खातीर. तुवें कांयच केलें ना, तूं थंयच उबें आशिल्लें आनी आपल्या बरोबर तेच सगळें घडटाले जेचेर तूं ऑब्जेक्शन तुवें मांडिल्लें, तुजें इन्सिडंट्स तुवें ते दाखयल्ले, तुवें कांयच केलें ना म्हाज्या खातीर. आनी तें अजून पर्यंत म्हाका तें लागता, मनाक अशें खाल्लेल्या सारकें जाता म्हाका की हय न्ही हांवें कितें केलें, कितें फायदो जालो म्हजो मुवी काडून, अशें आसता. सो
Anyway, I am not as pessimistic as you. I am a little more optimistic that it. But see, you did a start, and you should have followed up on that. You should have filed something or taken an NGO and gone and made an issue with the.
yeah,
not
but then that was not the time, na, really.
No, later.
Really, that was not the time.
Because see what happens, no. Ultimately, the law can do only so much. The government can do. आमची गोंयकारां खूब गोंयकारां आनी इंडियना खूब या ना गव्हर्मेंटान सगळें करूंक जाय तशें कांय ना.
No, we
Government
are also
does-
doing. Let government also do, na, support us.
No, the
like,
government will only do what we want. So only when civic society pushes,
which is happening here.
yes.
yeah,
but-
we do that. We
yeah,
do that.
Only
actually, we
then
do that.
government will act. Otherwise तशें कांय जावपाचें ना. आतां पळय आतां पणजेचे तूं I know I'm bringing it back to पणजेचे रस्ते पळय.
Oh,
Government is not supposed to do. It's supposed to do, but look at our roads. We need boats. पांचशे होती कितें जाता तें पळोवपाचें. Okay. So anyway, thanks Suvarna ma'am.
Yeah.
Thanks Dr. Richa and thanks Advocate Siola. This was interesting, but I don't know. I'm a little more optimistic. I think if the NGOs, civic society, and the media work together, it is possible to possibly make incremental changes so that at least the next generation lives a better and more what do you say, with dignity, and this old normal which is there becomes a abnormal in future. Thanks again and keep watching Goa 365.
thank you.